Good afternoon. Diane Harmon and Preston Murphy of the Harmon Murphy Group here at Keller Williams Realty in Pensacola, Florida. And Preston's going to talk to you today about a listing appointment. It's called a Comparative Market Analysis, or a CMA as we call it as real estate agents. And Preston's going to go over this with you and kind of give you a little bit of background information.
Sure. So we're going to do two main things. And the first thing is going to be really just getting to know you and discussing your motivation to sell. Sort of once we have established that we can help you achieve that goal, the next thing that we're going to do is do a comparative market analysis where we are going to review the data for comparable homes that have sold, whether that's within your neighborhood, your particular zip code, whatever wherever you live in your location. We're going to look at comparable sold properties. I personally like to look at sold properties that have sold within the last 6 months, and usually within like a half to 1 mile radius of the subject property. We are certainly not appraisers, and we certainly can't tell you what an appraiser, what data they're going to pull, but that's always the most likely and helpful data that sort of sets the trend for what our pricing strategy might be. Once we've done that, we're also going to provide to you what we call a seller's estimated net sheet. So we're going to do a hypothetical contract situation, and within that particular price range, give you all of the costs that you might encounter as a seller, so that you can say, okay, if I'm going to sell my house at $200,000, I'm going to net $180,000, and then I'm going to pay off the mortgage. So what amount of money am I going to be left with at the end of the day if this is the purchase price or the hypothetical situation? So we're going to give you a best case scenario at the top of that range. We're also going to give you a worst case scenario because, albeit once we start this process, we hope that we're going to negotiate to get you the absolute best deal. But what if that best deal or the appraisal comes back at the low end of that range? You need to be prepared for that. So those are the two of the main things that we are going to do. Once we get through that process, then we're going to talk about all the other things that come along with listing, whether that's staging, curb appeal, rearranging of furniture. You need to keep in mind that on almost all of our listings, we have professional photography done, and it is going to pick up every single thing in your house, all the clutter, the dirt, all of that stuff. And that is everybody. 97% of people start looking for their house online first, and it is so important that we present your house in its absolute best light so that we can get you the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time as possible. So that's just sort of a brief description of how our listing consultations will go. We certainly hope that you will reach out to us when you do consider selling, or if you know someone who is likely going to sell in the next few months. Give us the opportunity. We would certainly like to talk to you about that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Preston. Yeah, and again, you can reach us at area code 850-471-5024. Speak with Lisa Kropanek, our administrative assistant, and Lisa will get you in touch with us. So again, Preston and I list, we usually carry about 30 to 40 listings. We're selling on average about 120 to 140 homes a year. So we sell a lot of real estate, and we do this every day, 7 days a week. So it's not a part-time job, it's a full-time job.
Absolutely.
And so reach out to us. Again, Preston Murphy, Diane Harmon,